Okay, to get started, you'll need your burlap square, your rectangular piece of fabric, and your lace. And of course, your hoop. So the first thing that we're gonna do is loosen the little dial on your loop, and you're gonna have to get it pretty wide to fit these fabrics through. So loosen that little dial and it opens it up to where you can take that out. And to get it back on, it needs to be pretty big, so just go ahead and loosen it as much as you can. And we're gonna just start with this inner loop. You're going to lay it in the middle, and you're going to start by putting your burlap fabric just right over that circle, right in the middle. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your fabric. Now on the fabric, you'll see that we have done the iron hem to give it a nice, beautiful look to where it won't fall. Now you don't want it all the way up because then you won't have a place to put your flowers. So you want to kind of just have this to the middle. It's going to be a little longer than your burlap, but we just want to make sure that it's halfway. So you're going to line this circle up on the halfway mark of your circle, just like that. Then you're going to take your lace and you're going to lay it probably in the middle or closer to the top, because it's just going to add that very pretty soft look to the fabric. Once you have it laid out correctly, you take your hoop and you want to make sure the top is at the top, and you just set it over and slide it down over. Any of you that have done embroidery any time in your life will know how to put that on. So once you get it popped on there, and like I said, this is pretty thick fabric, so you might have to open it even more. So I opened mine even more, and I got that all through to where I have this beautiful burlap and fabric pocket. So push it on there good, and then you're gonna want to just give it, before you tighten the screws, just a nice little tug all the way around to get all these wrinkles out, all the way around. So before I tighten it, I can see if I wanted to pull it any tighter. I still have a few little wrinkles, so I'm just gonna grab that fabric, give it a little tug, get those wrinkles out. And once I have it, don't pull too hard or you'll pop that right off. It's just a soft little gentle tug to pull out the loose material, make it nice and tight. And once you have that done, you're going to take your screw at the top and screw it nice and tight, because you don't want it to come out. Okay, now that you have it nice and tight, you can even give it another little tug if need be. So it should be nice and straight all the way around with your loop at the top where you're gonna hang it. Then we're going to turn it over and we're going to hot glue these pieces. Now these corners are very long, so you can take the scissors. If you have some scissors at home, you don't have to. You can just glue it where it is. I'm going to, just so it looks a little more tailored, and just cut these corners off. Do that on all four sides. Of course, the top's just going to be the burlap. But you don't want to do it too short. You want to make sure that material has room to flip into the inside. Okay, so once you have that done, it's time to glue. Now we're going to start here with the bottom, and I'm just going to run some hot glue, maybe even here to give it a good tuck. I might actually trim some of this brown one off as well. You do whatever makes it easier for you. At this point, there's no right or wrong, but I will tell you, when you glue up here, you're not going to want to use a lot of glue because it's burlap. It will show through. So what we're going to do here is we're going to trim it pretty close, just around this top area. And that way, that burlap will just glue to the wooden. Not too close that you can't get it around. Once you get to the fabric, you're fine. So just a little bit so you can glue it back around to the wood. because the burlap will, like I said, show through. Once you get to the fabric, it's welcome to go long. So we're gonna start here at the base, and we're gonna move all this trash over, and we're gonna get our hot glue gun. And I put plenty of glue sticks in there for you, and you're just gonna give it a little squeeze here and here so that you can tuck this around nice and tight, and just hold it there in that glue for 10 to 15 seconds. And then you'll come to the next edge. Now when you're getting to edges like this, you're gonna hold this down and fold it over. That way it's not so bunchy. And the same thing, once you glue that, you're gonna hold and flip. So that way you've got a nice clean edge there. So I'm going to put some glue here to hold that down. And I'm actually gonna put some glue right here on top so that I can give it a fold and hold it down on itself. So you will just do this all the way around, getting your fabric glued around so it doesn't show from the front. And then I'm going to flip this and hold that in that glue. Oop, and I glued my finger to it. And same thing here, glue that burlap down, and then just a little here to flip that outside on that edge. Now once you get to this top where it's burlap, you're just going to take the glue and put it here. If you can have something, you can even get part of this material so that you don't burn your fingers, and you're just gonna flip that burlap over into that glue so it glues onto the back of the wood. There you go. And you're gonna do that all the way around. So you just put glue right there on the wood, flip that burlap over. Like I said, if you don't have a finger protector, now I use a low temp because I don't like to burn myself. You can use the fabric, and you just push that burlap down into the glue. You're gonna do that all the way around the top. Flip that burlap into the glue. You can make a song out of that. Flip that burlap into the glue. Grab your partners 2 by 2. Okay, next little piece of just the wood, and then I'm gonna finish it up on the bottom side. So see how that's nice and clean, but it doesn't show through. So that's what you're trying to do on that top area. Then when you get back to this bottom, it's the same thing. You'll actually put it over onto this fabric, and you don't want to go too far in because you're making a pocket for your flowers. But just get all this glued nicely. But so it doesn't bunch, it's nice to pull it down and then fold. And that just helps with it not bunching up. Oh, I need another glue stick. All right, if there's any that's too long, you just simply cut it off. Okay, and don't forget your 2 little lace ends. They will stick out, so you need to, you can trim them if you'd like, but make sure they get glued over so that nothing shows. Now the thing I love about this wreath is once you do it, this one can be hung inside if you have it for a decoration, or it can be hung on the door. But what we've made is a pocket for flowers, and you can change the flowers out with the season. But just to dress it up a little bit, I've added another little bow that matches. You can put it to the side, you can put it to the middle, whatever you think is best. This is your decoration, and I love everybody to put their own little thought into it. I think I'm gonna put mine right in the middle. Just funny, I'm usually a side person, but today I'm feeling it right in the middle. So there we go. It dresses that lace up, makes it look nice and feminine, and then we have our flowers. The flowers that I put in there are just nice and bright for summer. What I'm gonna start off doing is taking one of my yellow and I'm gonna put it on one side, and then the second yellow, and I'm gonna put it on the other side so that I have a nice little sprinkle. And then there you have a greenery, and I'm just gonna stick that one right in the middle to give this some balance. Then you have 5 flowers. For them to show, as you can see, I've angled mine a little bit so that they show from the front, and you're just gonna slide them in. I'm actually gonna put one, since there's 5, right in the middle. And then I'm just gonna fill up the other spaces. And again, I have this one at an angle so that when it goes in, it shows to the front and it's not sticking straight up. I'm gonna angle this one a little more than it is and put this one on this other side. So now I've got the 3 and I have 2 just to top it off. I'm gonna just angle those a little and put them in. Angle that a little and slide it right in. So there you go. This is our wreath, or just changed it up a little bit. So we're gonna call it a door decoration for this month. I hope y'all enjoy it. Remember, you can change out your flowers with whatever season that it is, so that it can be something that you can keep up in your house year round.